Hey yo, what is up guys? Your boy is back with yet another video, and I'm actually back recording in my original room back when I used to record. If you guys are actually watching that far back, when I used to record in here in high school. Now I don't think most of those videos still exist, but yeah, I'm back in here. This is just so happened to be the best place I could find to record. Well, my dad's downstairs cooking, so cooking, baking, whatever you want to say, whipping up my dinner. All right, I got my new Minato shirt on. I just want to show that off real quick because it's sleek as fuck. All right, let's talk about it. So I'm back with another review from 2014. I think I don't think I did Royal Rumble, but I got Extreme Rules, not Extreme Rules, Elimination Chamber, WrestleMania, and now I'm pulling up with Extreme Rules 2014. Oh man, the video looks a little... Sorry if the video quality is not going to be the best for this, but honestly, it's all about my sensational voice. Alright, so, Extreme Rules 2014, do I have any real memory of the show? Now, I remember when the show happened, it happened obviously the month after WrestleMania. WrestleMania was so huge. It's actually my favorite show ever. WrestleMania 30, and now here we are with Extreme Rules, the follow-up. Now, the past 2 years, Extreme Rules 2012 and Extreme Rules 2013 were very, very good shows. So, yeah, they were good shows, and then this one, I don't remember it being as good as 2013 or 2012. Most shows can't really live up to those. Those were just really good shows. This was kind of just a two-match carried show, unfortunately, and it's a very weirdly remembered show. So we're gonna go down the reasons why. So we're just gonna start talking about a few matches here, and yeah. So first match we'll talk about is Rob Van Dam. Yes, Rob Van Dam had returned to the company back in 2013 at Money in the Bank. You're gonna have to wait a little bit for me to get to that review, but yeah, we'll talk about that as things come. Rob Van Dam, obviously a huge legend, ECW original, back in WWE from TNA after so many years away, versus Cesaro and Jack Swagger. And now Cesaro had just won at WrestleMania, so he was getting a huge opportunity here to wrestle. Not, I was about to say, I'm was this for the United States Championship? But I don't think it was. This was not for the United States Championship or anything. It was just a match on the undercard. I don't think. Yeah, bring it up here. Yeah, just a triple threat elimination match. This match here was just a solid match here. Nothing too crazy. Just a really, really good match. Jack Swagger gets eliminated 8 minutes into the match. Not even, probably 5 or 6 minutes into the match. Jack Swagger, the former Real American with Cesaro, gets eliminated. Yeah, that's all I really have to say. Yeah, Jack Swagger, yeah, right, his elimination. This was a really weird... This is why I kind of have a hard time remembering. So, Jack Swagger, he gets eliminated when the camera wasn't even on him. So, it was kind of weird, the camera... Cesaro hits a move on Jack Swagger, then next thing you know, Rob Van Dam hits a frog splash, but the camera wasn't there, so you didn't see it unless you were live. Yeah, kind of a weird... kind of a really weird thing. So Swagger gets eliminated. Moving on, Cesaro and RVD, it picks up when it was just the two of them. Really, really good stuff between the two. Rob Van Dam, just such a dynamic wrestler. Obviously the split-legged moonsaults. They had a cool a moment on the outside, and then they had the garbage can that got involved, which RVD went for the splash on. Cesaro got out of the way. RVD lands on the trash can, and then Cesaro hits a neutralizer on him. And so yeah, Paul Heyman and Cesaro win. Cesaro, this is at the time when people really thought yo, it's picking up for Cesaro. We sky is the limit for this dude. He's gonna go on to the main event. So yeah, big win for Cesaro on a big pay-per-view, PLE, whatever you want to call them at that time. Next up, Wade Barrett versus Big E. So this was for the Intercontinental Championship. Now Big E, he entered as Intercontinental Championship. I don't think he defended at WrestleMania with the belt. I think he was in the Battle Royal. Yeah, so kind of strange seeing pre-New Day Big E wrestling. So it's this is one of the rare occasions where you actually see that with him on the main roster. A lot of people just know Big E from the New Day, and no, he actually had a little singles run before that. I always bring it up every time I watch one of these videos, but yeah. So yeah, him and Wade Barrett was a very, very physical European style wrestler. And actually, like looking back on it, really, really like that. I like that style of Wade Barrett. Back in the day, I wasn't really like the biggest Wade Barrett fan, but now as an adult, I really, really appreciate him a lot more. His style, like the knee strikes on the ropes and just like the bull hammer, and yeah, and I really the winds of change. Like he had some really, really good moves. He was a big, tall dude. Wicked tattoo. I liked his tattoos. Were really cool. So yeah, Wade Barrett, he wins the Intercontinental title here. Him and Big E, they have a really solid physical match. Big E with that spear to Wade Barrett on the, like when he's on the ring apron and then Big E comes and spears him off the ring apron. It just looks so sick every single time. Wade Barrett was really over in this. Like people really like Bad News Barrett from the Michael JBL and Cole show. I don't know if those videos are still online or not, but people really, really, really liked JBL and Cole. They wrote JBL and Cole show, and I used to watch it too. It was pretty good. Wade Barrett picks up the W with a bull hammer. Really, really awesome bull hammer. Just came off that ropes. Bam! Lays him right out with it. Looked really, really, really good. So, the next match we're going to talk about. So, back in the day, I didn't get to actually really talk about this. The pay-per-views were kind of like 2-match shows. Like, you'd have some good undercard matches, but then you'd have like, oh, here are the big matches. Like, you'd have big 2 or 3 matches. I guess there was 3 matches that were really supposed to carry the show, but it really only ended up being 2. But yeah, but this was one of them. The Shield in one of their last like original run matches. So that's kind of when I look back at this time. This is kind of what I think. You're like gearing up for the end of the Shield. Now that I look back on it, it's like you're in that last like 2 big matches of the Shield when they were originally together. Now I know they originally get back together in like 2017 and 2018. I think they get back together in those years. But this was really it. Like, people, they love the Shield, but, like, for me, the Shield was always, like, 2012, 2013, and 2014. Like, that was, like, the run of the Shield. Anything that kind of came after was never really the Shield anymore. They all kind of broke off to go do their own things. They're all kind of single stars at that point. They were never really, like, the same faction that they were, obviously, that you kind of, like, how I really looked at them. But, the match here was really, really good. Like, Evolution coming out. Just huge star power in this. Like, Batista, Triple H and Randy Orton, they all just looked amazing here in 2014. So this was like kind of like a really, really like just a really good like 6-man match. It wasn't like as good as, in my opinion, the Wyatt family matches, but this was a really, really good match. It was just like, match starts off, they're all kind of brawling, they're all like fighting over the ring. I believe like kind of like Seth Rollins kind of gets trapped in the ring, and like Batista, Orton, and Triple H, they're just like they're getting their heat on him, they're beating him down. Ambrose, he gets a tag, then he's kind of getting beaten down for a bit until they eventually get to the tag of Roman Reigns, and this is kind of how you knew like they're building up Roman Reigns, because he'd get that last tag in and then he'd kind of go crazy for a bit, and then next thing you know, match just breaks out. Seth Rollins flying over the top rope, Dean Ambrose diving through the ropes, they're fighting through the crowd. It was all out there. I think it was Triple H and Orton were out there fighting with Ambrose and Rollins through the crowd. Next thing you know, Rollins comes diving out of the stands onto Triple H. That's kind of like the moment of the match, was Rollins just diving out of the match. And then next thing you know, in the ring, fucking spear on Batista. Roman Reigns picks up the W. And yeah, this was a really solid match. This is really, really good stuff here from the Shield. They had so many just classic matches, and you know what? Like, for them to like go out like Wrestling Evolution and like the last little bit of their run, like at this point, I was a huge Shield fan. I think I've talked about this in like my Extreme Rules video, was like how much like that match, like that Wyatt family match meant to me. Like, this was just another case. Like, it's like, like one day I'm be like those guys. That's kind of how like I saw it back then. I know that's like really weird, but it's true. So that's kind of like how I saw things, because that's like, like saw myself as part of the Shield. I'm the 4th member. Oh man, such a dork. So yeah, just solid match. Moving on to essentially what this video is going to be named after, because this is like, when I think of this show, this is immediately the match. Like, okay, I know it's weird, this is the match you think of. It's not so much the match as much as like the goofy moment that happens in it, and then like the joke that came out of it. So for those of you who were fans of wrestling at this time, Total Divas had just started the year prior, and there was this whole thing with Nikki Bella and John Cena, and how they Nikki Bella wanted to get married and have kids, but John Cena doesn't want to get married and have kids, blah 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 blah. That's all you really need to know for this. So this whole match is just pretty much like Bray Wyatt and John Cena, like the match, like kind of itself wasn't so bad. Like when it was just Bray Wyatt and John Cena hitting their moves on each other in the ring, John Cena would try to escape. Oh, then Eric Rowan gets involved. Oh, John Cena tries to climb over the cage. Oh, Luke Harper's there, and that's pretty much the entire match. It's just like John Cena tries to escape. Oh no, one of the Wyatt family members pops up. So, fucking oh my lord, John Cena gets everybody, like they're all beaten. They're all like pinned down. John Cena's pulling out of the ring. There's a cool spot where like John Cena tries to like out muscle. I think it was Eric Rowan's like holding the cage shut, and John Cena's like shoving it open, using those muscle. You know how it is. Yeah. So John Cena, he has them all dead to rights in the ring. They're all at the ring at one point. I think John Cena's like an avalanche AA on Bray Wyatt. He's pulling out of the ring. Next thing you know, that Wyatt family, like, wah happens, and then, like, it goes dark, and then there's this fucking kid on the ring apron, on the steps, and he's singing, I've got the whole world in his hands, and it's like, oh my gosh, a kid? Kids are supposed to love John Cena, and then John Cena, because he was so scared of having kids, he falls back, oh my gosh. And then Bray Wyatt hits him with like a Sister Abigail and pulls out of the ring. And Bray Wyatt's your winner of this steel cage match. Yeah, this match sucked. Might as well just put it like really simply. This was dumb, but it's kind of funny. It's like Cena, and I just remember like after that, it's like Cena hates kids so much that he lost the match over. He's so scared of having kids that the sight of one scared him off that much. All right, yeah, okay. All right, so enough about that. Let's not talk about this match anymore. That's about all I have to say about this match. It wasn't very good. Yeah, sucks. Sucks. I really wish it would have turned out better. All right, moving on, main event time. So, like I said earlier, the show's kind of like, in a way, very known for like not like that, but so like Daniel Bryan at his height in 2014 here, like when he was just at his like complete peak. This is it. It's kind of like sad to kind of like watch this match and just realize this is all this really was at that point in time, was Daniel Bryan's only world title defense in a main event of a pay-per-view. Not his only like world title defense on a pay-per-view, but like in the main event when he was the dude, when he was the guy and he was going to main event. It happened on this show, and it's like it's very bittersweet to kind of look back on, because it's like, oh man, like he was the dude. He was so good, man. Bryan Danielson, he comes to the ring, it was like so quick. I actually had to replay his entrance because he like comes out, but he's like yes or whatever, comes all the way down. I'm like, damn, that took like 10 seconds. He was already down in the ring, and then Kane's music hits, he's coming out, Bryan comes out, hits him in the entrance, and they're brawling around. Extreme Rules World Heavyweight title on the line. Daniel Bryan facing his former Team Hell No tag team partner here. Yeah, so the first part of this match, it was just a brawl all over the ring, not out in the crowd, but around the ring, with them hitting each other with kendo sticks and chairs, and Bryan hitting them with like the freaking flap of the ring announce table, and then he hits him with the freaking other like part of the ring. So yeah, and then they're like fighting on like the top of the ring apron. Kane was actually built up as quite a threat here. He actually did come off quite threatening here. Like, it's like, yo, you didn't want to fuck with Kane leading up to this. Like, he was like a complete monster. Anyways, they fight into the back. Kane picks up a TV. For some reason, there's this tub. There's like this ice tub of water. Daniel Bryan ducks out of the way, throws it into the ice water. Thing explodes. Then this is where like the shit gets crazy. I didn't even know this. This is hilarious. So all I can think is, so like they fight out into like the parking lot. Bryan knocks him out with a crowbar, and then there's a forklift. I didn't know Daniel Bryan had his forklift ticket. Apparently he did. You know, maybe when he was living in Aberdeen, Washington, he worked at a freaking warehouse at one point. He was, you know, delivering packages for people. I don't know. Anyways, so Daniel Bryan lifts him to the ring in this kind of totally stone cold Steve Austin, and I was like, oh man, he's just gonna tip him off that. He tips Kane off the forklift, gets up on it, which by the way, you're not supposed to get out there and climb on that. I know. Anyways, jumps off it, flying headbutt down to Kane. This is like the match just got like completely insane at this point. And then like what this other match is also known for is like at the time there hadn't been flaming tables seen. at any point in time. Kane, he sets up a fucking flaming table. Like, I think, like, the last time I'm probably wrong about this. The last time I remember that in WWE was like, it would have had to go back to like the ECW days of like 2007, 2008. But the last one I like vividly remember was Edge spearing Mick Foley through the flaming table at WrestleMania 22. Yeah. So yeah, Kane's back in the ring. Bryan Danielson hits him with a psycho knee, or what is it he called it? Like a B+ knee, or the move that beat John Cena, as I famously like to call it, that flying knee. Puts Kane out 1, 2, 3. Daniel Bryan is still your world champion, and yeah, this is Daniel Bryan's only world title defense of that like huge run on like a pay-per-view. Yeah, so it's kind of a bittersweet ending. Yeah, I'm like really happy for Daniel Bryan for the run that he did get to have, and that was like such a good match and just such a wicked match. I really liked that main event. So yeah, I'm gonna be back with my Payback 2014 review, so stay tuned for that. And yeah, star ratings in the description below, and peace out, guys.